Hey guys, welcome back to Wednesdays with Nia. How are you guys doing today? Today I'm going to be talking about traveling with kids, fun stuff. When we were first told that we were going to be flying to LA kind of last minute, I was a little bit nervous. I've never flown with either of the kids, and we've only stayed in a hotel once with Symphony when she was really little, so I was pretty nervous. It turned out to be a really great experience though overall, and I've made a few notes to talk with you guys about. So first I'm going to talk about a road trip, because I have taken a road trip with both children. We drove from Texas to California. It's a 22-hour trip, I believe. Okay, so first thing, I have a 3-year-old and 6-month-old when we were on our road trip. And so one thing I suggest for the older child is to have a grab bag of toys, crafts, like stuffed animals, little things. All I did was just go to the Dollar Tree. I spent about $10 to $15 and I had just random stuff in the bag. I also had a few things for Abram in there in case he was awake for long periods in the car. So a grab bag, gotta get one of those if you're gonna go on a long trip with kids. And then also snacks, not just for the kids but also for the adults too, because especially when you're gonna be in the car for a long time, you don't wanna make too many trips. If you do have to stop and go into a gas station, you don't want to have to take the kids in with you if you're all hungry and snacky. So snacks and water bottles is a good idea. Also kind of a given. I'm sure you all are like, duh. Make the most of every stop. If you're driving in a car, especially for long periods of time, especially with a little baby, you just have to make the most of every stop. If you stop to get gas and the baby is awake at all, I suggest you get the baby out and feed the baby, whether it be a bottle, baby food, or breastfeeding. And so just make the most of that. Make sure everyone goes potty, make sure everyone gets readjusted, let the older child get out and stretch for a minute while you pump your gas. And then also, if you're going to be driving for long hours at a time and you're getting tired, get out, run around, take a jog around the car or around the parking lot, do some jumping jacks to get yourself woken up. Okay, so moving on to that. Or an airplane. Oh my gosh. Going to the airport with all of our junk for 2 kids and for ourselves was such a hassle. I mean, it was the first time when we went to the airport to take off was just crazy. The second time coming home wasn't as bad because we kind of knew what to expect, I guess. We had no idea like what we were getting ourselves into. Like, we had 2 car seats, a jogging stroller, a pack and play, a huge suitcase full of all of our clothes. Every one of us had a carry-on. Abram had his blanket, and it was just a lot of stuff. And at one point we were dropping stuff. I was carrying Abram and like dragging stuff behind me, and it was just a lot. One lady had to stop and help me. So, must-haves for the airplane ride. Obviously snacks. I am one of those, it's like the second you take off in the car or the second you get in the airplane, it's like, all right, bring out the snacks. Time to party! Like, that's just how I am. I don't know about you guys. Headphones for movies that might be on the plane, or portable DVD players, iPads that you guys have brought. Books or an iPad for the children. If you have an iPad, I think we live in the day and age where it's like, it's okay to have an iPad out on the plane, but also, having books, coloring books. Another thing you want to have for an airplane ride, especially with kids, is comfy clothes. Kids do better when they're comfortable. They're not as irritable and they're not as quick to like whine or complain about something if they're comfortable. Okay, if you're going to be staying in a hotel or even staying with family, some must-haves are a pack and play for the baby to sleep in. For Symphony, we just took blankets and stuff that she's familiar with from home, and she had a pallet on the floor, or she actually slept in the hotel bed one night, and she did really good. She liked it a lot. So must-haves for the hotel is definitely a pack and play and familiar things. If you have a small baby that you're working with them, getting them to sleep through the night, like Abram, I suggest the most familiar thing that they're used to having when they sleep. So Abram sleeps on this blanket. He doesn't sleep on a sheet. And everywhere we go, if we're staying overnight, that blanket goes with us. And he continues to sleep through the night. So I feel so blessed in that area. That was wonderful on the trip for us. Another great thing to have in the hotel is snacks and toys from home. Different than what you had on the plane. So that way when there are little waiting periods between going from here to there, or while you're getting ready, unpacking things, you can you can give them something familiar to play with and they feel more at home. When we were in LA, even though it was only a few days, you could tell that when we got back to the hotel, Abram and Symphony felt like, oh, we're back home, especially Abram. And so Symphony's playing in the garden. Okay, and then also just a few general things that you should take with you on any trip, anywhere, whatever you're doing. Lots and lots and lots of extra clothes and diapers. I mean, at one point of the day that we had the shoot in LA, Abram had 4 blowouts within like a 4-hour period. He changed into 5 outfits the first part of that day. That's crazy. It's just like, I couldn't believe I even had 5 outfits there. I actually took 7 because we were planning on the kids being on the set, and so I wanted to be prepared. If you're a nursing mom, you want to take a pump and bottles that fit it. For the parents, you definitely want to take extra chargers, especially when you're in a new place. You don't want to find yourself frustrated in a rental car because your phones are dying and you don't know where you're going. That did happen to us at one point. We did luckily find an extra charger. That's why I say take extra chargers and pack them in like different bags. I think I had one in my purse, one in Sam's carry-on. I believe we had one other one in our suitcase. So just the more the merrier when it comes to that. Okay, also, if you've got a small baby, don't take a diaper bag. Take a large purse, clean it out before you go, and then each day that you go out from the hotel, put new diapers and wipes in it with maybe some baby food and snacks, extra outfits, along with your wallet, your phone, sunglasses, the stuff that you need. I would say just take one large purse. That way you're not taking a purse, a diaper bag. It's just extra baggage that you have to take along with you. Obviously, if you're going to be doing traveling with small children and you're going to be in places that involve walking, you want to pack your stroller. We took our stroller. When we drove to California, we didn't take a stroller. So while we were there, we bought one. Then we drove it back home, and it's been wonderful. I'm so grateful that we were able to do that. And while we were in LA, there's this place called City Walk, and we did a lot of walking and shopping, and I was grateful to have a stroller to put the kids in. Another great thing about taking a stroller is that when you're at the airport, you can load all your stuff up on it and just wheel your stuff around to like the check-in places. It was awesome. I really liked that about having our stroller. Those are my tips. I'm not an expert at this, and it was still a lot of work and it was hard, but it was so enjoyable. We love traveling with our children. We were very nervous about it. We didn't know if it was going to be like a horrible hassle and stuff, but we loved it. I want to go on more trips with both kids. Like, I loved it so much. I loved being in such close quarters in the hotel room. Like, there was no separation of like Symphony in her room, Abram in his room. And I like having the separation at home, but when you're out on vacation, it was just so much fun to all be together constantly. So if you're those parents who are just scared to go out and travel because you're worried about the hassle and all the just junk that comes with traveling with kids, I would say the way to overcome that fear is just to do it. You just have to do it once and see that it's not so bad, and then you'll be able to do it again and again and again. That's how I feel. I felt like, oh, I'm never gonna travel with kids. There's so much stuff you have to take. But now that I've done it, it's like I could do it again and again. I feel like if someone called and was like, we need you over here tomorrow, like I'd be like, okay, let's go pack and go. I would be so excited. You know, I did make sure to take my paddle with me. The disciplinary actions that I take at home stay with us when we travel, and I would say, you know, that's very important as well. Okay guys, thank you so much for hearing me talk about traveling with your kids. I think I summed up everyone's questions in these last few minutes, and I hope you all learned something and feel encouraged about traveling with your kids. Definitely pray over your family every time you travel, even if it's just down the road. It's best to pray over your car, your family, the airplane, whatever. And I will see you guys next Wednesday. Let me know what you want to talk about in the comment section below.
Emily Turner asked, you both are perfect lip singers, but what do your real singing voices sound like? Is that a challenge, Emily?
Okay, can I just say something